This video is also factor by grouping. I have a factor by grouping easy, and what's more difficult about this one is the fact that this a is going to be no longer a positive 1. We're going to have numbers, and that makes it a little different, as you'll see. So our first example is going to be 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. So whenever you're doing this where you have something other than a positive 1 right here, you have to multiply the 2 by the negative 3 instead of just taking the c. So you have to multiply your a by your c. So in this case we get a negative 6, and we still do the same things we did last time. We're just going to write all the factors of it. So we got negative 1 and 6, 1 and negative 6, negative 2 and 3, 2 and negative 3. I like to always write my smaller number first, then my larger number. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through and add these up. Of course we're looking for this 5 here, so in this case we get 5, which of course is the number we look for, but just to make sure we're going to do all of these, and you can see whenever you got this negative number here, all they're going to do is just repeat. So we got 5 and negative 5, 1 and negative 1, so like we said, we're looking for 5, so this is going to be the one that works. So we're going to write 2x squared minus x plus 6x minus 3. You go back and check real quick. Negative x plus 6x is 5x, so we haven't changed the problem at all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to group these. So whenever we're grouping, we can see what we can pull out of the first two now, and of course that's going to be an x. It's going to be pretty. You're always going to want to pull out an x. Sometimes you may have to pull out something else, but in this case we do not. Make sure that you can multiply it back in. So x times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 1 is negative x, and so what that means is that we want to have 2x minus 1. So whatever we pull out, we need 2x minus 1 to be left. So of course that's going to make it a 3, and then we just check this real quick. We say 3 times 2x gives us our 6x, 3 times negative 1 gives us our negative 3. So now what we do is we pull this out. We say 2x minus 1, x plus 3. And so that's our factored form, and then what we want to do is we want to check this real quick. So we say 2x times x gives us 2x squared, 2x times 3 plus 6x, negative 1 times x is minus x, negative 1 times negative 3 is minus 3. Add this up, and we get what we started with. So that means we did that one right. Now for the next example, we're going to do 3x squared minus 7x minus 6. So like I said last time, you always need to do your a times your c. So in this case our 3 times our negative 6. So that's going to leave us with a negative 18 over here. So we got 1, or we'll say negative 1 and 18, positive 1, negative 18, negative 2 and 9, 2 and negative 9, 3, negative 3 and 6, 3 and negative 6. So what we're looking for is this negative 7. So once you get pretty good at this, you don't have to always add everything up, because there's only going to be one that works out. So in this case, we'll just go ahead and say we know you can do this mentally. You know, negative 1 plus 18 is obviously not going to be negative 7. So here the 2 plus the negative 9 is going to give us our negative 7. So this is going to be the one that we use. So we'll say 3x squared plus 2x minus 9x minus 6. So now we're going to do the grouping part. So we say pull out an x from our first two. We go back and check, and we say we make sure that x times 3x is 3x squared, x times 2 is 2x. So what that means is on this next one, we need it to be a 3x plus 2. So since we know that we need this positive right here to be right here, means we got to pull out a negative number to make that a positive. So what you're going to pull out of that one is you're going to pull out a 3. We go back and check. We say negative 3 times a positive 3x, negative 9x, negative 3 times a positive 2 is negative 6. So now that we have that, we say 3x plus 2 times x minus 3, and then we just want to check it, make sure we've done it correctly. So we say 3x times x is x squared minus 9x plus 2x minus 6. So we get 3x squared minus 7x minus 6, which is what we started with, so that means we did it correctly. For the next problem, this is going to be one where the number gets a lot larger, but I'm going to show you that it's still going to work. So say 3x squared plus 34x plus 63. So like I said, every single time we take our a, multiply it by our c. So in this case, we get 189, which may take a while for the factors of it. So we know that we want to get to this 34 here. So what I would do is I would just start going through the factors. We know that it's only going to be the positive ones because two negative numbers are never going to add up to be a positive number, and that's the only way you're going to have two negative numbers in order to get this positive 189. So the numbers that are going to work, because I already worked it out, are going to be 7 and 27. So we use those exactly like we've done every single time. So we say 3x squared plus 7x plus 27x plus 63. And of course the 7x plus the 27x gives us our 34. So we haven't changed the problem at all. So all we're going to do now is our grouping. So we say x times 3x plus 7. So that means we have to pull out something that will leave us with 3x plus 7. In this case it's going to be a 9. You just go back and check real quick. 9 times 3 is 27x. 9 times 7 is 63. So then we pull out our 3x plus 7. Then we're left with our x plus 9. So now we're just going to multiply these back together. So we'll say 3x times x, 3x squared. 3x times 9 plus 27x. 7 times x is plus 7x. 7 times 9 is plus 63. And then we add that back up, and we get 3x squared plus 34x plus 63. So I'm going to leave a couple problems for you to try and do it, the more difficult ones, because that a is not a positive one.